Are we lying? I said, are we lying? Baby, go sit down. How about that? Go sit down somewhere. How about that? Sit your butt down somewhere. You want to let me do nothing I want to do. How's that working out? All right, it's at 80%. So let's go ahead. Oh. All right. Hey, Tony. Hey, Liz, Nia. Is Bobcat back? I'm sucking for oxygen. Okay, is it okay? It's in. Now, can I drag it down? Yes, I can. And let's see. Is it really in fast motion like that? Is there a way to slow it down? Well, the good news is it captured the trip, but it's too fast. There's something I can do to it. There ain't any way to change the speed. All right, the heck with it then. Just go ahead and produce it the way it is. All right, it's producing. Okay. Woo! Nia said she'd be right back. All right. Let's see what we can get into. Let me come back and bring y'all in, and we'll see what's going on in the world. Oh, I got to take my reading. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see if our boy Kevin done anything. He's hard to find now. That's only 4 videos. I know that. Oh, I hate when I can't find somebody. It really irks me. Stop picking a name with everybody else. Make your name sound different so you stand out. And he's not on the home screen. No way. Any other time, he's right there. All right, there he is. There he is right there. All right, give me a moment there, Kevin.
Say hell no to Lightning, my PCA. Say hell no to Lightning. I know Lightning is very dangerous. It killed people before walking down the street and at gas stations across the country. Lightning strike homes, building parks, churches, trees, cars, trucks, and mountains too. I am so scared of lightning. I run from lightning and hide from it. Lightning comes from rain and the dark cloud. Lightning lights the sky up, makes very crazy, loud sounds that it would scare all animals of the wildlife. Lightning is dead. I know lightning is deadly. Kevin Joseph King, PCA. I know how to wear this. But I mean, I'm gonna read this one more time. Say hell no to lightning. Lightning is very dangerous. It killed people before walking down the streets and at gas stations across the country. Lightning struck homes, buildings, parks, and churches, trees, cars, trucks, and mountains too. I am so scared of lightning. I run from lightning and hide from it. Lightning comes from rain and the dark clouds. Lightning lights up the sky up, makes very crazy loud sounds that it would scare all animals of the wildlife. Lightning is dangerous. Well, lightning is deadly. Kevin Joseph King, PCI. So we'll show y'all again. So I'm showing y'all the paper, y'all. Y'all see it? And I'm gonna wait again for the third time. Make sure I get it right. Say hell no to lightning. Say hell no to lightning. Lightning is very dangerous. It killed people before walking down the street and at gas stations across the country. Lightning struck homes, buildings, parks, trees. Parks, churches, trees, cars, trucks, and mountains too. I am so scared of lightning. I ran from lightning and hide from it. Lightning comes from rain and the dark clouds. Lightning lights the sky up, makes very crazy loud sounds that it would scare all animals of the wildlife. Lightning is dangerous. Lightning is deadly. Kevin Joseph King, PCI. I'm gonna wait again one more time for the fourth time. Say hell no to lightning. Lightning is very dangerous. It killed people before down the street and at the gas station across the country. Lightning struck homes, buildings, parks, churches, trees, cars, trucks, and mountains too. I am so scared of lightning. I run from lightning and hide from it. Lightning comes from rain and the dark cloud. Lightning lifts the sky up, makes very crazy loud sounds that it would scare all animals of the wildlife. Lightning is deadly. Lightning is deadly. Kevin Joseph King, PCI. I know. Say all this, y'all. Y'all say all this. Ready to y'all? Say hell no to the lightning. Mm-hmm. I know. Say hell no to lightning. Say hell no to lightning. So y'all can see the word.
In the
I was about to say, Bob.
Is there a nurse in the house?
Say hell no to
Got 'em.
lightning. Hell no.
Ain't no joke.
Say
I
hell
just
no
washed
to
my
lightning.
daggone hands, though. You know, you wrong for that, but I'm glad I got them. So you gonna go with my fingernail instead of just getting out the bag? Yeah, whatever. Sometimes you gotta wonder. All right, I got just some time. I don't know what Kevin was talking about, but I hope he entertained y'all. I asked the question, is there a doctor in the house? Well, I just killed one, and another one just flew in. Like, God darn. What is it, like a revolving door? I'm just saying, yeah, like a revolving door. We just gonna irritate you by I'm gonna keep sending them in here one at a time, and we're gonna let you kill them, and then we just gonna nag you. Well, whatever is my answer. Whatever. I got a bigger question. I just went and took my sugar reading. I haven't eaten anything. I have not eaten anything. Yet my sugar went up. Anybody got an explanation? It didn't go up much, but it went up. Now, I got Chung Lee as a witness. That's my witness. Because I'm pulling this photo from her chat. From her hangout. Let me let y'all see it. Davey, go sit down, man. Tired of talking to you. Go relax your nerves. Now, I took this reading earlier today. You see what time it says, right? Now, I just went into the bedroom while Kevin was on and took another reading. It said 200. Then I took it again. It said 217. I ain't ate nothing. We enrolled to the store. I walked around the market. How did my blood sugar go up? Shouldn't it come down? My sugar went up. Yesterday it rained 12 hours straight, ruined my whole day. I had to scrounge around for something to eat. Now I had to eat a pack of the oodles and noodles. I added some of that Italian dressing to the oodles and noodles to give it some flavor. It's good, y'all. Try it with Italian dressing. But y'all know we got the wrong kind. I got the regular kind. I didn't get the sugar-free. So I know that's what spiked me up in the 200s. That and that Gatorade. That one Gatorade. I tried to water it down by mixing it. Like drinking halfway down, pouring some in. It didn't work. The Gatorade and that spiked my sugar up. The Gatorade and that spiked up the sugar. But y'all see that. And Chung Lee can vouch for it because as soon as I took it, I sent it to her. We were talking while I was doing it. She knew I was taking my medicine. And so you telling me that my sugar went up? It went up. After all that exercise, the sugar went up. So exercise don't have no effect. I didn't eat anything, and y'all didn't see me eat anything. Baby, go sit down, man. I haven't ate anything all day. I got up at 11:30. I haven't ate anything all day. Why is my sugar up? It should be down because I ain't ate nothing. Liz says, why haven't you eaten fasting can either cause your sugar to drop or rise? Because we got the 181. So I wanted to get a 140, a 160, a 1 something. So I said, we not going to eat anything. It wasn't nothing to eat anyway. I got my snacks on standby. I said, we're not going to do anything till we take our reading. And I took the reading, and it said 200. I didn't believe it. So I took another reading. It said 217. What the hell? How I go from 200 to 217 in 30 seconds? The amount of time it took to reach over and grab another thing and stick it in, I went from 200 even to 217. I don't understand. I don't understand. I went up. I didn't come down. With all the exercising we just did, with me walking around the market, with me carrying the bike up the steps, you telling me my sugar level went higher? I don't understand it. But then I got two different readings. How I get a 200 and then got a 2? Where the 17 come from? Is the body using stored sugar or something? Anyway, I just want y'all to see that, that's why I went and we got healthy stuff. We didn't get the grilled cheese. I don't know. I figured the more you work, the more you burn. Don't you burn sugar for energy? I thought you burned sugar for energy. But why would it go up? I mean, it was 19 points up the first time. And then I took it again and it said 217. That doctor is in the same part as the health clinic, and some of them people might see me and say, hey, did you bring your folder? And I show them the folder, and they're going to say, well, what happened? You went from 2s to 1s, now you're back in the 2s. So I said, let me not eat anything. Let the sugar come down. If I got a 181, maybe I can get a 150, a 160. So this trip was a total disaster. Well, I guess I ought to eat something. I thought glucose was the energy that the body used. And since you're not using it, That's why your sugar level high, right? So exercise and eating ain't had nothing to do with it. That's what I'm finding out. I'm just caught off guard.
The NYPD has made an arrest in a subway shooting.
It happened as officers investigated a bank robbery this afternoon that they believe was committed by the same suspect. CBS 2's Andrea Klein-Thomas spoke to the shooting victim. She's live tonight in Union Square. Andrea.
Oh, Maurice and Christine, that suspect was believed to have robbed a Chase Bank earlier this afternoon, and police say they tracked him down on an R train with 3 loaded guns and mounds of cash. Officers say his distinctive shoes gave him away. Now, as for that shooting victim, he is still in the hospital. He tells me everything happened so fast. One moment he was on the train minding his business, and the next moment he was shot in the leg.
Around 2:30 Tuesday afternoon, NYPD officers swarmed the Union Square subway station and arrested this man, believed to have shot an innocent passenger the day before in the N train car, running away at the same station.
Police officers responded to a report of a bank robbery at a Chase, discovered the description of the suspect matched the description from yesterday's shooting.
The 42-year-old victim is still in the hospital and asked that we not share his name.
I was looking at my phone, and then I stand up, and he was standing in front of me, and then he asked for my phone.
Over the phone, he tells us when he was approached, he did not immediately know it was an attempted robbery.
He asked me for my phone, and then what do you mean? And then he asked again for the phone. They basically pull a gun and shoot me.
Early Tuesday morning, the NYPD released these pictures of the suspect, who they say is also connected to 2 other crimes. An attempted robbery around 3:30 Sunday afternoon at this deli on Lexington Avenue and East 41st Street, where the suspect allegedly targeted a man ordering food but refused the $45 offered to him. On Monday, around 4:47 p.m., just 10 minutes before the shooting, a robbery of this TD Bank on Canal Street, where authorities say the suspect displayed the gun and ordered money from the teller, getting away with $1,100.
We transmitted pictures of those shoes, readily identifiable, very easy for our officers to spot. We're still deploying 1,000 additional officers into transit each and every day.
As for the shooting victim, he says he rarely takes the N train, but was headed to the grocery store. Now he's waiting for doctors to provide more details about his long road to recovery.
And some of the good news in all of this is that the victim tells me that doctors told him that the bullet did not hit any major arteries. Now, as for the suspect, officers say he did not resist the arrest and that their investigation is ongoing. Reporting live in Union Square, Andrea Klein-Thomas, CBS 2 News.
Andrea, thank you.
All right, get them off the street. Get them off the street. Uh-oh.
An 85-year-old woman has been murdered, and Anne Arundel County Police are looking for the person of interest in this case.
Let's go to WMAR 2 News' Don Harrison, who was at the crime scene today and spoke with neighbors about what happened.
Crime tape surrounds the house on Woodsboro Place in Edgewater. Inside the house, an 85-year-old grandmother was killed by some type of weapon. Neighbors tell us the woman lived there with her son and her grandson.
I wake up every morning early, and I've never seen anything like this before.
John Ash has lived across the street for 29 years. His wife, Linda, has lived there her whole life. The couple worked at McDonald's with the victim some time ago. They are familiar with the woman and the 2 men that lived with her.
Family's nice. I mean, this is a close-knit community. I mean, we all watch out for one another here.
The neighbors do keep an eye out. Some residents say they have seen police at the house at least a half a dozen times before.
With an event as dramatic as this, even neighbors that have been here for close to 4 decades are rethinking where they live.
We just need to move out of Willard Beach because it's, I've never had anything like this happen here.
Well, I'm ready to move out to the beach. I'm scared somebody walking out. I'm scared somebody shoot me or him or my death mob.
The police were called to the house around 5:30 this morning when her grandson discovered her. Earlier today, police were looking for her son, Aman Zaharna. Police tell us they do have someone of interest in custody.
Unfortunately, this happened, and they did need to.
Police say they do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the community. In Edgewater, Don Harrison, WMAR2 News.
Yep, they're ready to run further out.
The NYPD has made an arrest in a...
You can't. They're coming. The further out you move, they move with you.
A longtime pharmacy in New York City is set to close.
But not without a fight. CBS 2's Dave Carlin is in Hell's Kitchen.
Less than a block from her Hell's Kitchen home is a pharmacy Constance Stellas relies on. This Dwayne Reed Walgreens on 9th Avenue near West 44th Street started as an independent drugstore dating back to the mid-1980s. Now it's closing.
It's inhumane for the residents of the neighborhood.
Executives at Walgreens confirm it, saying customers can shop at this soon-to-open much larger one on 8th Avenue at West 44th. Some say extra steps and unfamiliar staff are bitter pills to swallow.
To walk there, it's a little bit precarious.
It's going to be very inconvenient.
The fight to keep this store open has the support of State Senator Brad Hoylman and other politicians who signed a letter to the president of Walgreens, John Standley, and have not heard back.
This is a hometown pharmacy for 3,500 residents who live at Manhattan Plaza. We don't want to see it moved.
This is one of the closest ones. It pops up when I was searching for the COVID vaccination.
Time is running out November 18th, and some residents, community activists, and elected officials say if this store cannot be saved, at least delay the closing.
We need to alert our neighbors who depend on life-saving drugs from this pharmacy.
We want that drugstore to stay right where it is with the same staff.
We did not hear back from Walgreens about what's motivating the move, but some staffers tell us off camera issues with rent are part of it. Yolanda Mendez is a clinical pharmacist at a different independent pharmacy in Washington Heights and says anytime a pharmacy closes, it destroys important relationships.
So it's not just providing their medications, it's sometimes providing the support, emotional support that they can't get.
With more pharmacies closing, a community spreads the word that bigger is not better, and longtime trusted pharmacists are the best medicine. In Hell's Kitchen, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
That's a shame. Oh, what the hell? Let it play.
For a long time, and I had never heard a scenario like this. It really caught me by surprise.
And horrific discovery. That's what Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez is calling a crime scene at an apartment complex.
3 boys found abandoned inside an apartment unit. Their ages 15, 10, and 7. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says skeletal remains of a 4th child, possibly a 9-year-old sibling, also found. This disturbing discovery made during a welfare check. Now, deputies are working to learn exactly how this happened. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sion Rhodes.
And I'm Jonathan Martinez. We've also learned the mother and her boyfriend are being interviewed by homicide investigators. It happened at the City Park 2 apartments on Greencrest Drive near the West Park Tollway. That's in Southwest Harris County. And that is where we find KPRC2's Bill Barajas. And Bill, we're learning other new information tonight as well.
Well, that's right. According to the sheriff's office, the 15-year-old boy, the oldest found in that apartment unit, is the one who actually called the sheriff's office to tell them that his 9-year-old brother had been dead for about a year and was in the room right next to him. He also told investigators his parents hadn't lived in the home for several months.
Crime scene tape was out front. The apartment in question on the 3rd floor at the City Park 2 at West Oak Apartment Homes. Residents and visitors to the complex shaken by the disturbing discovery.
This is very shocking for me, very shocking and sad, very sad. And my thing is, where's the parents and why would you leave your children?
3 children, ages 15, 10, and 7 years old, were found abandoned. Along with them, the skeletal remains of a minor and possibly a sibling of the 3 boys. Joy Shorter telling us there was an odor in the air.
It was coming all over here. And so we walked in. I was like, oh, something smells bad.
The county's top cop calling the situation horrific.
At plain view, it appears they're living in pretty deplorable conditions. I haven't been told that they were necessarily locked in, but that age, it appears that they were basically fending for each other.
Sheriff Ed Gonzalez saying the children did appear to have food, but didn't know where they were getting it or who was paying the rent at the complex. We tried asking management about the incident, but were asked to leave the property instead.
Guys would exit now. Thank you very much.
And again, all this information coming down in the last few moments. It's still unclear right now how that 9-year-old sibling died. And the sheriff's office saying the children did have some injuries, but are now in the care of the county. Again, the parents have been found and are being questioned by homicide investigators as we speak. Live for now in Southwest Harris County, Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
Bill,
That is a beautiful complex.
A longtime pharmacy in New York City.
That's a beautiful complex. And if it was up north, you wouldn't see all those black folk out there. And I can tell you.
And a new video of a bus accident.
Nosy people. I don't know, Liz. Can you find us a link?
Accident in Brooklyn. The crash happening at 5:30 this morning at Eastern Parkway and Kingston Avenue in Crown Heights. According to the MTA, a van collided with the front of a B43 bus and the bus jumped the curb. The bus driver was taken to a hospital with arm injuries. No passengers were on board. No word on any other injuries.
So, ain't nobody getting no money. Nobody not getting no money. Nobody was on the bus. That's sad. All right, what the heck? They haven't flagged us yet, so we appreciate it in WFLA. They haven't flagged us yet. Let's get it. We're waiting on our Liz's missing girl from Australia. Hey.
WFLA Now will begin momentarily.
So you can't get mad because you sent her off. Sent her off with that young dummy.
WFLA Now will begin momentarily. Streaming live on WFLA Now, powered by 1-800-ASK-GARY. Here's JB Buno.
No DNA analysis yet on the remains found at the Carlton Reserve. Dental records confirming those remains are that of Brian Laundrie. However, the cause of death and time of death remain big questions in the ongoing federal investigation into not just the death of Brian Laundrie, but also the murder of Gabby Petito. Plus, Northport police saying that there was a lack of cooperation from the Laundries early on in their investigation. Hey there, everybody. JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. Great to have back here on stream. I think our audience is going to be very pleased to see 8 on your side investigator Masa Saidi back here with us, everybody, on WFLA Now. You can use hashtag Hey Masa, hashtag Hey JB. This is a stream that was willed into existence by folks on Twitter. There were just so many people who were following all the updates over the course of today and wanted a stream. We're here with you live on WFLA Now to kind of break down what we know. The big thing, Masa, that we have found out over the last hour or so is that no DNA analysis yet, despite some of I'll get into this, but despite some of the social media commotion that was out there, no DNA analysis yet on the remains that were found here at the Carlton Reserve. This is we Northport Police and the FBI, of course, sharing out the information that this is Brian Laundrie. The remains are Brian Laundrie, the skeletal remains, the portion of the skull that was found, the dental examination confirming, according to the FBI, that those remains do in fact belong to Brian Laundrie. However, still questions remain. When are we going to find out the cause of death? When are we going to find out the time of death? When was Brian Laundrie deceased? These are things that we might find out potentially, maybe from thorough examinations of the remains that are with actually, you know, let's make this very clear for our audience, Masa. I want to get you involved here, but we are trying to figure out exactly where the remains are at this hour. I don't know if you have any more details to share here, but I know that we have submitted a follow-up inquiry to Northport Police. Are they with an anthropologist, the Sarasota County Medical Examiner's Office? Where are these skeletal remains right now?
Yeah, that is a huge question, and you'll have to forgive me because I was working on another story today, but I am all up to date on everything that's happening today with the Brian Laundrie case. But yeah, a big question right now is who has the remains. The attorney for the Laundrie family, Stephen Bertolino, had said that the remains were with a anthropologist, but now there's some confusion about that. The Northport PD put out a statement earlier on Twitter, and they said that it was from the medical examiner's office because the medical examiner, I guess due to some online chatter, was getting contacted by media all across the country, and they wanted to set the record straight by this regarding the DNA analysis done on Brian Laundrie's remains. And the medical examiner said the remains found on October 20th, they were confirmed to be Brian Laundrie's by comparing the remains to known dental records of Brian Laundrie. And the medical examiner said that no DNA analysis has yet been performed. So it sounds like potentially there still could be DNA analysis that is performed on those remains. And the medical examiner also said samples will be submitted for DNA testing once the examination of the remains is complete by the ME's office. So that right there is the confusion, because we thought, we were under the impression that because of what the attorney had said, Stephen Bertolino, that the remains had been transferred. Now it looks like perhaps maybe they were partially transferred. If I had to guess, we don't like to guess, but if I had to venture out, try to make sense of the statements here, perhaps part of the remains were sent to a forensic expert, and perhaps the rest of the remains are still at the ME's office. Or Allison Henning, who was on the story today at 4, 5, and 6 at Channel 8 here in Tampa, she did reach out to the ME's office to try to get clarification, and the ME said no further comment, JB.
Looking for your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyMasa questions and comments in the Facebook Live, and hello to YouTube. Hey there, YouTube. Let's just throw out some names here from YouTube, like Jason Justy, Simon Smith, Clarence Spangle, a lot of folks chiming in here on YouTube as well. But let's get to some of the comments that are coming in. Giselle Cavallero pointing out here, hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyMasa, how are dental records matched and where do police get them? Also, is it the jaw or singular teeth that are matched, and how does the process work? Do you want to, I have a little bit of information here on this, but do you want to go first? Because I know that you've been, you're feeling your jaw, Masa. You're feeling it. Are you feeling all of the teeth? I think this is called the
mandible. I think I'm trying to go back to the interview that I had with Joe Scott Morgan, a death forensic specialist. And he said from the information that has been released, he said this part of the skull he thinks was intact. I think this is called the mandible. I shouldn't be saying medical terms if I'm not 100% sure, but this area of the skull. And my understanding,
yes, the mandible is the large portion of the bottom jaw that goes from the basically the bottom of where your ear is all the way out and around to the other ear. Basically, it's this section. Yes. So there's going to be a GIF here in moments of you and I just of going like this back and forth.
My understanding is probably what your understanding is, that they look at what we know, that the FBI authorities were in touch with the Laundrie family getting DNA samples, and it looks like they also got these dental records, because apparently this happened very quickly, much more quickly than we've seen in a regular old case. So police were on the lookout for this. Authorities had collected his previous dental records. You would get that from the dentist, from the dental office. Yep. And I guess they look at cavities, JB, or
they and it's not, this is something that happens quite a bit. Dentists will receive, of course, word that they need to obtain the dental records and the dental history of a particular patient of that dental office. They'll then examine it, do a thorough examination, and you'd be surprised at how much characteristics, unique characteristics that are unique to your. It's not as indistinguishable as a fingerprint. A fingerprint, of course, is an extremely helpful. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's very accurate. Thank you. Extraordinarily accurate means of identifying a person, matching the identity of a person. Thank you. But teeth are an extraordinarily accurate way as well, and that's what the examiners used, as far as the forensic examiners used when they collected these skeletal remains at the Carlton Reserve. That was their best bet as far as coming to a determination. And let's not forget, this is the FBI. They have all of the means at their disposal, and they're not going to announce this unless they are certain that these dental records.
All right. For those of y'all, well, we already experienced it. Marsha got
from
thrown
New
to the
Jersey
ground.
to Long Island, where strong winds could cause some problems tonight.
CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan live on the South Shore in Babylon. Jennifer.
Maurice and Christine, good evening. A state of emergency has been declared here in Suffolk County, bracing for winds. We began our day up on the North Shore in Port Jefferson on Long Island Sound, and then traveled south here to Babylon, where this ocean community survived high tide.
We're urging extreme caution. We're expecting that the winds from this storm will be picking up significantly.
Babylon business owners are listening and adjusting schedules with every storm.
We just hope everybody is safe. Is this going to be the future? We don't know. And it's very concerning.
Climate change, say residents of Babylon Village, is on their minds.
Mayor's office puts out a memo the night before saying if you want to move your cars to parking lots north of Montauk Highway.
Be cautious, slip sliding home in the wet leaves. Earlier, visibility was dangerously poor as we drove east and north to Port Jefferson Village. The Long Island Railroad says expect delays. The Cross Sound Ferry will cancel evening trips.
I get nervous because last time it rained really badly, my car got completely hydrolocked.
Last time meaning Ida, when the historic Theater 3 on Main Street was walloped by floodwaters.
But that was all downstairs. We cleared everything out. Only took us about 3.5 hours to get this whole lower level ready for anything.
The piano on risers, costumes and wigs in bags and bins, and now the show will go on, resuming with Wednesday's matinee. The county executive says due to changeable winds and unpredictable rains on and off, in fact, another band moving in right now, it's best to stay off the roads tonight. PSEG Long Island is standing by for any possible power outages. We're live in Babylon. Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News. Christina Maurice, back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you.
Look at how close the water is. The water is almost level with the ground. Why would you want to live? Let me ask y'all, why would y'all want to live in an area? Why would y'all want to live in an area that the water is right there to the ground? All you need is a good rain, a good wind to push the water over. That's all you need. Why would you build a house there? Why would you make a family there? Why would you make a community there? And get washed away. I'm just asking. Well, you know, this is a pretty nice neighborhood. Now, to live, come by and visit, maybe go fishing, maybe go for a boat ride, maybe go for a swim, not to lay your head down every night. I remember back in 1983, might have been 1982, but I remember we were on a trip up to New York. We were on a trip up to New York City to go see my stepfather's sister and her family. And I remember we got up there. They had the little bag of tater chips that was a quarter. They was like 40 cents in Baltimore. But we had Utz. They had the one with the owl on it. It's called Irie's Fries, something like that. When we buy a slice of pizza, it's a little 16-inch slice of pizza. When they get a slice of pizza, it's a big slice of pizza. And it was still 99 cents a dollar. I asked my mother, could we move to New York? She said to me, New York is a nice place to visit, but you don't want to live here. And she was right. I'm glad we didn't read it. It is a nice place to visit. Don't want to live there. Just because a property is beautiful, it might be a nice place to visit. It's not a nice place to live. Get you a summer home, a beach home, build you a log cabin if it's beautiful in the winter, but don't live there. Don't bring your family there. Because then we got to come get you. We got to come rescue you. We got to come save you. So it's a waste of time. It was a waste of time to sit there and then you worry, oh, another storm comes, it's going to wash my house away. Oh, if we have another flood, I'm going under the ground. I'm just saying. Just because it look good don't mean it is good. It might be nice to visit, but you ain't got to stay there. A couple weeks ago, we were watching the video with the people after they kept getting the flooding. And they kept talking about, well, you know, I've been here for 30 years. It do this every year. Well, what you crying about? You should be used to it. You should be used to it by now. You ain't moved, so it don't bother you. So what do you want? I'm just being honest. What do you want? You want sympathy? Move. You need help moving? Ask for that. But don't sit there and complain knowing you ain't going nowhere. You wasting time. This from Liz, y'all.
After having their lives pulled apart, now it's their family home. Forensic officers back at the property of Cleo Smith's parents, this time going inside, exposing their lives now par for the course, so too pleading for Cleo's return.
If the person that's watching has Cleo, we want her home. We want her to be home with our baby. We want her in our arms.
Ellie Smith recounting that fateful night in a fresh bid to bring the 4-year-old home.
I put her to bed. I tucked her in. I made sure her sleeping bag was completely tucked under her mattress. I made sure she was warm. It was going to be quite a windy night. It was overcast. We just tried to make sure she was safe.
Their last interaction, now a lasting memory.
I asked her to get back into bed after she had a sip of water. Put my head through to check on Isla, and that was it. That was the last time.
By sunrise, Cleo and her sleeping bag were gone.
Heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. Scary. Completely scary. I mean, how are you meant to feel?
Panicked was one feeling, and it was overwhelming.
The whole time, you're trying to look through tears. I had other mums helping. It was nothing that I would ever wish upon anyone.
And it was all meant to be a fun family adventure.
I would plan to head down to the beach, teach Cleo to go swimming, and pretty much Isla's first camping trip.
The manhunt hasn't stopped, but neither has the speculation.
There is no way that either myself or Jake could have done anything to hurt our daughter.
The parents finding it unbearable to stay at their Carnarvon home without their oldest daughter, and police finding it difficult to track down a mystery vehicle seen heading away from the campsite. The Northwest Coastal Highway is 1,300 kilometres long and largely built on a barren landscape. The only large town it pierces is Carnarvon, meaning CCTV from within the Reeling community provides the best chance of finding Cleo. The Prime Minister revealing federal police are using secret...
I would love to have a wee moment on that bridge.
Certainly can't talk about that on air, but the AFP are there. They've joined that process. I'm very pleased to say that they're helping in every way they possibly can.
If you know anything at all, call the police because we want our daughter back and she wants us. Our daughter, Isla, she needs her big sister.
A message for the community and now a message to her little girl.
I love you. We miss you and we want you home.
And Mia Edgerton Warburton, police are still at the family home.
They are, Tracy. They've been here for about 4 hours. They've taken a lot of equipment inside that home, including evidence bags, but they haven't brought anything out of note just yet. Now, police say that this is just part of their normal investigation. There is no reason that this is targeting the parents in any way. But of course, this is the second time they've been here in just 4 days. On Saturday, forensics combed the perimeter of the property. They paid particular attention to that front fence, looking for signs of a stalker. But we know now, Tracy, that theory has been discounted.
All right, Mia in Carnarvon, thank you.
They're going to shame. Keep your children close. Keep your children close. Stop taking it for granted. It's only 13 minutes long. It's 8 years old. The Shay Show shouldn't care. Let's look at these pieces of doogie. Look at these pieces of doogie.
Here's one.
God darn.
$279. Here's the other one right here.
Look at the pieces of doogie.
Here's one right next door. And this is the one I think I seen on the internet.
Shout out to Shay and the Shay Show.
That led me to even want to look at this stuff.
God darn.
Two. Yep, that's one. Here's one. And here you go.
Look at that.
How about that beauty? How about that generating $600 a month?
Hey, Nia, there you go.
Yep, so here it is.
Yeah, you better have some money.
You understand, you got to do your homework when it comes to these things. And there was like 67 people that actually
bid on it
on this stuff. I mean, 67 people. So those are the properties that you've seen. Let me see. I think is it another one? 43. Nope. Those are the ones. Thank you. The blank pages.
I couldn't sleep.
That to my
shout out to Shay. I couldn't sleep living in one of them homes, knowing that almost every house on the block is abandoned. You don't know who the heck living in it. God darn. years ago, somebody had the nerve to say, you ought to move to Detroit. For what you paying for rent, you actually can have a whole house and own it. I looked at him and said, judging from the few Vic Mobile Lives that I've seen and from the Shay Show Mobile Lives, it seemed like you might have 3 or 4 blocks of actually roads with houses on it. And then it seems like you got highways. And at the time, we had the little bike. I said, that little 250 watt bike ain't gonna do nothing. Because every time you go somewhere, it's sitting out on the highway somewhere. Also, the snow. Snows a lot there. Which, once again, we had the little e-bike. We could do better now that we got fat tire e-bikes, but still. Even if I bring it inside the house, they gonna come in there and get it. They taking your water heater. They taking your radiator. They taking everything out there on house. Yeah. They definitely gonna take. Well, I only been to Michigan once, and I don't think we rode through Detroit. If we did, we was on the highway. So I didn't get to experience none of it. But man, to save a couple dollars. 2 hours ago, breaking news. Liz said she had her uncle in there. I don't know what we're looking at. It says possible team shot. But I don't know what the hell they doing. Ain't nobody talking. I don't know what the hell they doing. How the heck is this? We don't get flagged. We'll get flagged on something good. I like that. That's 14 years ago. Yeah, who cares?
Last night was the tip of the iceberg for me. I really cannot do this anymore.
This Hollis Queens homeowner barely got any sleep last night, watching and waiting to see if rainwater would rush into her basement. Flooding is a chronic issue here on 183rd Street. Just last month,
You break the wall, smash the wall in, and fill the whole basement up.
a mother and son were trapped when several feet of water rushed into their home. They were living in an illegally converted basement apartment. They never made it out. Rajendra Shiv Pravasa was their landlord. Tonight, he remains heartbroken.
Whatever happened here, you must have a fear in you.
In the week since Ida's remnants swept through New York City, lawmakers have renewed efforts to find a better solution for the estimated 100,000 people living illegally in basements and for their landlords. Donovan Richards is the Queens Borough president.
People are on fixed incomes. A lot of senior citizens rent out their basements to subsidize their mortgage.
On the Pix 11 News Mayoral Forum, we asked the leading City Hall contenders for their views. Would you evict people living in illegal basement dwellings?
Of course not. We're not going to evict them. It's landlords or building agents who have decided to illegally house them and collect rent.
No, I would not. We have a housing crisis.
Democratic mayoral candidate Eric Adams wants to improve safety for basement apartment tenants. He believes landlords and city agencies can work together to get those apartments up to code.
Partnering with the DOB and FDNY.
Republican contender Curtis Lewa says landlords should face fines if they move tenants into basements without the proper permits.
Give them a little bit of time to correct it. But after a while, the Department of Buildings has got to be answered.
That's Fox News. Damn.
More than a month into the school year for New York City public schools, and some parents say their children's bus routes are still disorganized and far from dependable. They say their kids wait for more than an hour for buses and sometimes say there's no bus at all. CBS 2's Natalie Duddridge reports from Queens.
Cell phone video shows 11-year-old Shaquan, who has cerebral palsy, being helped off his school bus on Friday at 5:30 p.m., 2 hours late, his mother says.
It's crazy because I'm always there. I'm always here thinking like what's going to happen this afternoon.
Uranda Samuels says the school bus is extremely unreliable for both pickup and drop off. Her son goes to P993 in Bayside, Queens, 10 minutes from her house. But she can't drop him off since she works early mornings. So her 18-year-old son waits with his younger brother.
I'm a single parent and I have to leave him there to rush to work. 2 hours, probably 3 hours, he's there sitting waiting in his wheelchair.
Meanwhile, over in College Point, Sandra Kelly says her 11-year-old son Joshua is often late to class at JHS 194 because the bus picks him up after school has already started.
One time I was here at 6:50 and then the bus came at 8:20.
Buccelli says she walks her younger son to school, and when she comes back, if Joshua is still waiting, she takes an Uber with him.
That's $20, 20 back and 20 back. That's $40, and I cannot afford it.
Both parents say they have complained to their schools, the bus company, and the Department of Education with little response.
And it's not fair for these kids.
And get more bus on the road.
We reached out to the Department of Education. Its Office of Pupil Transportation says this year it doubled routes and issues have actually decreased, saying there were 60% fewer complaint calls in the first 20 days of this school year compared to 2019. A spokesperson said they're working to fix these specific cases. These parents hope it will be resolved soon so their kids can get to school safe and on time. In Queens, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
The DOE says families with any issues should call the Office of Pupil Transportation. We have more information on this on our website, cbsnewyork.com.
Hold on a second. I see something real quick. there any way to slow it down? It's still fast. That's the slowest. Well, y'all, this gonna be. Wait a minute. Okay, so I know I can see it there. But what about here? Can I go between the two? Now, can I slow it down? That didn't do anything. All right, Liz got a link for us. WFLA. That's ridiculous.
Sigh of relief. That several arrests have been made in her neighbor's murder. This woman, who didn't want to use her name, says she's breathing a sigh of relief.
Relief. Justice for the family, for him. The neighborhood can feel safe coming outside.
Flowers now mark the spot where police found the body of 18-year-old Dwight Grant, hidden in bushes near his home on Tuesday.
He was such a good child, an angel. Every time I would see him, he always had a smile on his face.
His body left right outside her apartment.
Oh my God, no. Police officers were taping off the building and neighbors crying and screaming.
Police have now charged 3 teens in connection with the murder. A 16-year-old and 2 17-year-olds are charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and criminal conspiracy.
His mother loved him. I can't even think something could happen like that. It's terrifying.
Neighbors described Dwight, also known as DJ, as a good kid with plans on going to college. We spoke with neighbor Sergio Smith earlier this week.
I watched Dwight grow up, and that's what hurts. Hurts. I won't see him smile again.
DJ was reported missing by his family Sunday night. Police say officers were canvassing the area Tuesday, saw bloodstains, then found the teen's body. DJ was a senior at Miramar High School. Neighbors say he was mostly quiet and was into gaming.
I can imagine what the mother's going through. I don't know how she's coping with this. I would not be able to.
Yeah. Chopped the boy up and threw him in the bushes. They ain't even had a sense to bury him. Whoa, how we miss this?
In surveillance video, people walking down the street suddenly start to run. The video quickly shows why. It's what that man was carrying in both hands.
Like massive knives, 8-inch knives.
Two.
Like this. It was out of a horror movie. It was pretty scary.
A man running down the street, armed with knives. The situation ended with police firing one shot and, according to law enforcement sources, tasering the man twice before subduing him. Around 8:30 a.m., the man approached the outdoor tables at a restaurant ironically named the butcher's daughter.
He grabbed one of our water bottles and I guess he left and went to smash it so that he used one of the glass water bottles as a weapon. Ended up going into the market, smashing a few olive oil bottles. He threatened one of our workers.
From here, he went to another nearby restaurant, swiped 2 knives, then headed down to Elizabeth and Grand Streets, where police say they first got the call about him. He then went past where the first incident was and kept going north. There, he passed eyewitnesses getting morning coffee. Kim Kalesti was one of them.
There was a guy with a hood, and he had 2 butcher knives. He was holding them like this, and they were really long knives, about like this. And he was holding them like this, and he was walking down the street. He had a hood on, so you couldn't see who he was. He turned a corner, and then we heard a gunshot.
She describes how the man turned east on Houston Street. There, according to sources, officers tried to taser the 25-year-old man. It didn't stop him. An officer fired a gun once, but didn't hit the man. Another taser got him to drop the knives, and police apprehended the man.
He needed some help, clearly.
While investigators worked the scene, other cops took the man to Bellevue for psychiatric review. As for residents,
It's kind of scary when you see a crazy person with 2 butcher knives, walking down the street.
however,
I've been on Mott Street for almost 40 years. Oh, it's just another day in New York. Pretty much.
pretty much, she says. Another New York aspect, one eyewitness said that people were shouting at other people on the street to stay out of the way of this guy, trying to protect their neighbors. Charges are pending against the man tonight. Reporting live from the Bowery in Lower Manhattan, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News.
What? She was sitting in her car Sunday afternoon when she was shot in the face.
This is beyond belief. Poor little old lady sitting in her car minding her own business. It's ridiculous.
Tonight, that 80-year-old woman is in critical condition with bullet fragments near her eyes after being shot in Pontiac.
Yeah, both her family and the Oakland County Sheriff's Office speaking out, hoping someone comes forward with information about that shooter. Mara McDonald is live at the Sheriff's Office tonight. Mara, first off, how is she doing?
Kimberly, she's really hurt. That bullet came in right through here. So all of this is broken. Her eyes are swollen shut, and she's got those bullet fragments everywhere. 80-year-old Charlene Jones is her family's rock star.
My mom.
She still has her glam going at 80, is a dedicated volunteer at St. Joe's Hospital, and everyone's all-around favorite.
I hope this doesn't take away from her striving to keep on being the best and showing me that she is the best.
Miss Jones was out with 2 friends, 59 and 64, looking at rental properties Sunday when her car broke down. A Good Samaritan offered to give them a jump. The sheriff says the next thing anybody knows is what they think is a black Jeep Cherokee rolls down South Marshall and an AK-47 starts spraying bullets.
One of the shots came right through the windshield and hit her right in her eye,
shattering the bridge of her nose, and now bullet fragments are lodged near her eyes. She's in critical condition.
And everyone's been saying, let me know what I can do to help you. Or this is what you can do to help me. Help me find the person that done this.
Who precisely the target was is still under investigation, but it sure wasn't Miss Jones.
I know they say
Mrs. Jones.
I will take your stick.
Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones.
I will help you.
In the car
Back
alone.
here live, Derek tells me that his mom is
Somebody
alert.
shot her
She
through
knows
her
what's
nose and her
happening.
dome.
And really right now,
Mrs.
she's trying to tell her
Jones.
children and her grandchildren to try and calm down and hold it together because she says she's going to be okay. We're live in Pontiac tonight at the Oakland County Sheriff's Department. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Certainly is a rock. Okay, Mara, thanks.
In the old days, you used to feel safe sitting in your car. Now it seems like the car is a casket. Seems like the car is a casket. All right, I don't see nothing. Let's take a look here. Stop screen sharing. This ain't gonna take long, y'all, because this is in fast motion. Wait a minute, you messed up. You can't watch it on this. Whoops, my bad. You gotta watch it on VLC Media Player, and you gotta go to playback, speed, put it in slower, and pause. Okay, now come back, share screen. All right, let's get it. I don't know how. All right, y'all see this on y'all screen? Yes, you can. This ain't gonna take long because it's in fast motion. Let's go. I don't think it's any volume. Did the bike fall already? Yeah, that's me picking it back up. Yeah. But it don't fall over this time, though. What y'all see is moving. There go the two little boys. Oh, this dude decided he want to pull in the park. Made us miss the light. He wait till the light change to decide he want to pull in there and park. Chain fell off. So I'm putting the chain back on. Can we get some music?
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say.
Hey, Ava. This is our trip today. I don't know why it speeded up like this. Something happened when the camera hit the ground. Look at him. He taking out both bikes. Look at her. That dude taking out both bikes. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, he see it chained up. I can't do nothing with that. He went my business. Say something there. Say something. Now he way up there. Look at him. Look at him. He's checking out the bike lock on here. Now watch him. Oops, hit the wrong button. Now look at him. Walk back over. Up, turn around. Came back. Look at him now. He see the chains. Ain't nothing he can do. Nothing he can do with it. Look at him. Look at him. Make your excuses now. That man said, I can't do nothing with this. All these chains over here. I can't do nothing with it. Man said, now you gonna fool with it. Now he way down there. He in Pat right here. Stop. He looked at Marsha first, then looked at that bike, then he came back. Look at him. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing? That's why we lock her up. I was talking to somebody about leaving the camera on the bike to watch the people mess with it. We catch somebody almost every time. He checked out both of the bikes on the rack. What he didn't know was I was standing in line looking right out. You can't see me, but I can see out there. Look at the trees blowing. That was the guy that was holding the line up in the orange. There I am. That's the guy I was talking to. The guy that pulled up, he pulled up with Lil Nelly. The camera did this after falling over. Dun, dun. Look, y'all, I ain't Jesus, but there's a bird following me. Look on top. There's a bird following me. That my guardian angel. He's all out of breath. I'm out of breath. Well, that was the quickest one we ever done. That was the quickest ride we ever took.
It's not a game, it's a rage thing.
I just sat here for the last 2 hours.
Mr. Jordan has been living on this block in West Baltimore for 66 years. He sits outside on his front stoop when the weather's nice. But these days, as he says, he hears gunshots in the neighborhood consistently. His stoop is about as far as he goes.
You're afraid. I'm afraid to come out the house and never know, I'm peeking to see if I can hire him run to my car to get out of the city. I just don't know. I just pray to God that I make it through another day. Yeah, just make it through another day.
Mr. Jordan lives a block down from where 7 people, including 4 teenagers, were injured Friday night when police say a car drove down North Avenue near North Rosedale Street and someone inside started shooting.
Police there.
Malik Ahmad was working at the Pizza Bowlies on the corner when one of the injured teen girls ran in for help.
Because she just gets shot somewhere else. And she tried to save herself, so she walked in, and I'm right there.
It was the start of a violent weekend. 4 people were killed, including a man found dead on Mannequin Street in South Baltimore Sunday, several hours after neighbors said they heard gunshots. In all, 16 people were shot in neighborhoods throughout Baltimore over 3 days.
These things are driven by personal conflict, interpersonal conflict. We've had domestic incidents. It runs the gamut.
While Mayor Scott said Monday that there isn't one specific issue driving the violence, Police Commissioner Harrison emphasized that investigators need help from community members.
We know that in all these incidents, there were many people out at each one of them. And so what we need now is for information about what people saw so that we can find who did these heinous acts and then bring them to justice.
Yeah. Hey, everybody in the chat. I'm sitting here falling asleep. Oh, shucks. We haven't looked at the CV numbers in a while. I'm afraid to look. How is the country doing? Well, we got 46,494,695 known cases of coronavirus. We about to hit 800,000 deaths. We are a day away from 800,000 deaths. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we haven't gone for a minute. We know that California knows how to party in a city called Watts. COVID-19 and the gangs, that's all they got. I'm talking about California. They picked up 5,732 new cases. They lost 80 people today. They still got 2.1 million. God darn. People still infected. Let's two-step our way on down to Texas. They got 5,052 new cases. They lost 143 people. Texas lost 143 people today. They got 118,000 walking around infected. Florida, Sunshine State, they picked up 2,024 new cases. But give them a hand because they lost none. They got almost 500,000 people infected walking around. New York, you're a native New Yorker. You're a native New Yorker. They picked up 2,003 new cases. They lost 35 people today. They got 380,000 infected. Illinois, they picked up 2,213 new cases. Chirac lost 40 people today. They got 82,000 infected. Georgia on my mind. I caught the midnight train to Georgia, and I'm bringing the COVID that I caught in California. They picked up 1,171 new cases. They lost 98 people today. They got 437,000 infected. Let's go to Pennsylvania. 3,740 new cases reported today. They lost 78 people. They got 111,000 infected. Ohio, they picked up 3,807 new cases. They lost 53 people today. They got 80,000 infected. There ain't nothing finer than the mountain ranges of North Carolina. They picked up 1,340 new cases today. They lost 21 people. They got 30,500 infected. Tennessee, They picked up 960 new cases. They lost 60 people. They got almost 15,000 infected. Michigan, what up, though? No stats. They ain't checked in yet. New Jersey, 1,473 new cases. They lost 33 people. They got 97,000 infected. Arizona, 450 new cases. They lost 101 people today. They got almost 63,000 infected. Indiana, they picked up 1,409 new cases. They lost 43 people. They got 47,000 plus infected. Virginia, they picked up 1,299 new cases. They lost 48 people today. No active stats. Ain't nothing finer than the coastal lines of South Carolina. They picked up 595 new cases. They lost 6 people. They got 177,000 infected. Missouri, or should I say Missouri, they picked up 977 new cases. But give them a hand because they lost none. They got 179,000 infected, though. Massachusetts, 1,468 new cases. They lost 25 people. No active stats. Alabama. I said Alabama. They picked up 214 new cases. They lost 18 people. No active stats. Minnesota. They picked up 6,522 new cases. They lost 22 people today. They got 17K infected. Louisiana. They picked up 460 new cases. They lost 16 people. No active stats. Oh, shucky ducky. It's time to go to Mitch McConnell's state of Kentucky. They picked up 1,466 new cases. They lost 25 people. No active stats. Colorado. They picked up 2,452 new cases. They lost 32 people. They got 156,000 walking around infected. Washington State. They picked up 1,204 new cases. They lost 39 people. Wait a minute, something in my eye. It'll come up by itself. Where are we at? Washington State, they picked up 1,204 new cases. They lost 39 people. They got 405. You might as well say 405,500 infected. Oklahoma. They got 446 new cases. But give them a hand because they lost none. They got 6,300 infected, though. Ain't nobody caroling in my state of Maryland. I said, ain't nobody caroling in my state of Maryland. We picked up 597 new cases today. We lost 16 people. We got 92,000 infected. Quick draw, McGraw, let's go to Utah. They got 1,614 new cases. They lost 10 people. They got almost 30,000 infected. Iowa. No stats. The fake Kansas, Arkansas. They picked up 502 new cases. They lost 14 people. They got 4,800 infected. Mississippi, you got M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. Mississippi, they picked up 1,670 new cases. They lost 33 people today. They got 11,000 infected. Nevada, They picked up 724 new cases today, but they only lost one. They got 41,500 infected. It's time to sneeze on down the road. We gotta sneeze on down the road. When you got that COVID-19, you can't carry a load. Come on, let's sneeze on down the road. Kansas. Dorothy and Toto took the day off. Connecticut, 254 new cases reported today. But give them a hand, because they lost none. They got almost 15,000 infected, though. Oregon, 1,507 new cases. They lost 23 people today. They got 62,000 infected. Idaho. Idaho. I said Idaho. Idaho. I said Idaho. 1,344 new cases. They lost 45 people today. They got 156,000 infected. Nebraska, no stats. New Mexico. I said New Mexico. They picked up 686 new cases. They lost 10 people. They got 26,000 infected. West Virginia, 714 new cases. They lost 24 people. They got 7,400 infected. It's time to roll that R. We got to go to Rhode Island. Now, we can do better than that. We got to roll that R. I said Rhode Island. They picked up 185 new cases today, but they only lost 2. No active stats. It's time to go to Montana to see Tito. Oh, I messed it up. It's time to go watch Tito Santana wrestle in that raggedy state called Montana. They picked up 1,123 new cases. They lost 46 people today. They got 11,000 infected. South Dakota, they picked up 718 new cases. They lost 8 people. They got 5,400 infected. North Dakota, they picked up 741 new cases. They lost 17 people. They got 3,300 infected. Delaware, I said Delaware. They picked up 174 new cases today, but they only lost 4. They got 10,500 infected. New Hampshire, no stats. Alaska, 742 new cases. They lost 10 people. They got 46,500 infected. It's a pain to live in Maine. So mundane, plain. Why? Because everything looks the same. Oh, it's so boring. It's bound to leave you snoring. It's a pain, a strain to live in Maine. Can we get the chorus? It's so boring. It's bound to leave you snoring. It's a pain to live in Maine. Maine, 882 new cases. They lost 25 today. No active stats. Wyoming. 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 They picked up 341 new cases of the coronavirus today. They lost 25 people. They got 3,400 infected. Uh-oh. Hawaii 5-0. They picked up 74 new cases on the island today, but give them a hand because they lost none. No active stats. District of Columbia, good old DC. They picked up 40 new cases. They only lost one. No active stats. Vermont, they picked up 90 new cases a day. They only lost 5. They got 5,200 infected. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. It's time to do Puerto Rico. Y'all know we got to roll that R. Puerto Rico. They picked up 19 new cases a day. They only lost 2. They got 34,000 infected. Time to go to Guam, our little territory. They picked up 152 new cases. They only lost 3. No stats for the Virgin Islands. No stats for the Mariana Islands. No stats for American Samoa. No stats for the U.S. military. Veteran Affairs, they picked up 349 new cases a day. They lost 81 people. We got 6,500 veterans infected. No stats for the federal prisons. No stats for the Navajo. I said the Navajo Nation. Look at our totals. My voice is gone. So far, total cases that we know of in these here United States, 46,494,695 cases that we know of in the United States. 46 million. Y'all hear that? New cases today. We picked up 66,610. Everybody ain't checked in yet. We got 4 different viruses now. Is it 3 or 4? I know it's the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnson, and what's the other one? Pfizer, and the booster shots. And we still picked up 66,000 cases in one day. And everybody ain't checked in yet. Total deaths so far, 759,903. We're going to hit 760,000 tomorrow. If not tonight, we're going to hit it tomorrow. With all the vaccines and the booster shots, we still lost 1,422 people. And everybody ain't checked in yet. But we've lost almost 1,500 people today. The day is not over. We still got 3.5 more hours for the day in. How many people are still walking around infected? 9,369,536 that we know of. With 3 vaccines and 2 different booster shots, we still have almost 10 million people infected in these here United States. And yet, police officers and teachers are crying because they don't want to get vaccinated. Well, I guess they want to join this list. Anybody have any comments? Some people get offended when we do the CV numbers, but we highlighting the people that's never thought of. We go to each state and we pay homage to the people that have become infected. We pay homage to the people that have fell to the coronavirus. Because who else is talking about them? Oh, you hear about it. I don't want to wear no mask. I don't want to get no vaccine. Who thinks about the people that actually died? We can't do everybody individually, but we can pay homage by state. and keep the people that died. Keep their memory. Somebody thinking about you. You know, we're a small show here, but somebody here thinking about you, you know? Somebody here is thinking about you. Man was shouted to welcome in. Excuse me. But they ain't showing that. But y'all see the Baltimore County police cars.
Morning's Women's Doctor, we are talking about SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. October is SIDS Awareness Month, and it refers to the unexpected, unexplained death of an infant less than a year old. It is the leading cause of death in children between ages 1 month and 1 year in the United States. Doctors at Mercy Medical Center say putting your baby to sleep on their back is key, along with making sure that everything is out of the crib. And Dr. Ashanti Woods from Mercy Medical Center is joining us this morning with some more information. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us, Jennifer.
So one of the key types of information that people need to know is that there are no symptoms with this. Is that correct?
That is correct. SIDS typically happens in an otherwise healthy baby before the age of 1. And so that's why we want to give parents the prevention tips to stop this. It's a horrible tragedy. Our hearts go out to anyone who might be watching this segment who has had a child or a family member affected by SIDS.
Do we know yet if there are really any underlying conditions that can be associated with SIDS?
So we do think that there are some risk factors. Some risk factors may include prematurity. Risk factors can include multiple births, multiple babies. So that might mean you are a twin or a triplet. But there are some other factors that play a role to include if there's smoking, if there's decreased prenatal care, to include sadly if the parents are younger, so like teen parents or very young 20s. So there are some risk factors indeed that are tied with, we believe.
Okay, so what can you do to give your baby the best shot of not succumbing to this horrible, horrible situation?
Absolutely. Well, always in pediatrics, we like to keep it easy. And if there is a acronym we can use, we like to use it. So we like to say A, B, C, D, and I'm going to even put an E on it. So A is going to be alone. We want babies to sleep alone. We don't want them sleeping with anyone else, no siblings, no pets. And in the case of twins or triplets, we do still want the baby sleeping alone. B, we want babies sleeping on their back. We see that when babies sleep on their stomachs, and babies sleep longer on their stomachs, which is why parents want to put them on their stomachs. So when babies sleep on their stomachs, for whatever reason, we see an uptick in SIDS. C, we want babies sleeping in their crib or a bassinet or a pack and play, but it needs to be a firm surface, anything with a firm surface. We don't want a soft surface. Soft surface increases the chance of suffocation. D, that's going to be do not smoke. So we mentioned earlier, smoking is a higher association. And then the E is going to be extra close to the parent, but in a separate space. So that simply means we think that children should be in the room with their parents until about 6 months of age, but we want them to be in a separate space. We want them in that crib or pack and play or bassinet. So A, B, C, D, and E, extra close to the parents, meaning just in their bedroom.
Talk about why putting your baby on your back is better than on the stomach, because the stomach used to be the old way to go, and there's that school of thought that if they regurgitate or throw up in the middle of the night, at least it's going out and down in that direction. And then I know a lot of parents worry about on the back, it would just sort of go back down the throat. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's a great question. It comes to anatomy. You would think that on your stomach as infants, everything can come out of the mouth. I'm going to try to hold my fingers up. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the airway in the baby's throat, in front you have the trachea. Air goes to the lungs. Back you have the esophagus, the tube that's going to take food and drink and air to the stomach. When the baby is on their back, a lot of the food comes out, but not all of it. Because of gravity, it's going to come down, and that extra will be in the esophagus tube to the stomach. Otherwise, have it forward like this, because of gravity, the food that doesn't come out of the mouth comes into the trachea and increases the risk for something called aspiration. That's where food goes wrong, and that's where we get into trouble.
I have never seen it explained in just that way, Dr. Woods.
Neither have I. Where were you at
this morning? Really appreciate it.
Where were you at in 1996? Where were you at, buddy?
Hi to all your viewers.
All right, you got it. And if you have any other questions or you'd like a referral,
where was that explanation?
800 MD Mercy. Real important information right there.
Where was that explanation? Now, I will say, in my defense, I would have her out there with me, and she would be in the bassinet. She would be in her bassinet. And we would sit there and watch the wrestling. I would get off at work about 1 something, and I would come, bring her in the living room with me. I was delivering pizzas at the time. So whatever I had brought home, I would go ahead and warm up. We would sit and watch the wrestling, and I would play with her. And I would fall asleep on the sofa, and she'd be sleeping her bassinet. But that one night, I couldn't get her out of mother's arms. I couldn't get her. And I got to live with that every day. I should have slapped the mother across the face and yanked her, but, maybe she'd still be alive. Maybe I would have been in a lockup, but maybe she'd still be alive. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. But we learn from our mistakes, and hopefully y'all who are about to become mothers, hopefully y'all can learn. Sometimes it takes somebody else suffering to lead the way for other people to step up.
Breaking news to tell you about an arrest in the hit-and-run death of a 17-year-old Apple Valley High School student. Detectives took 41-year-old Chad Goodrow into custody yesterday in connection with last week's incident on Ottawa near Navajo Road. The victim, Andrew Lawrence, who you saw right there, had just finished coaching his brother's football game when he was walking back to his car and was struck in front of his mother and younger brother. Goodrow posted $50,000 bail.
Damn. Well, that's a strange way to end the show. This dude got 6.5K views talking about this bike. I tried to watch it, and no offense to him, but I fell asleep. No offense. No offense to you, lead farmer. I'm sorry. I fell asleep. That's why I say I think there's something wrong with people or something wrong with me. One or the other.
To the clash at the Barclays Center, dozens of protesters marched to the arena ahead of the Nets home opener to demand Kyrie Irving play, despite not following New York City's vaccine mandate. At one point, some of them tried to force their way into the building.
This comes amid more protests against New York City's vaccine mandate for all municipal employees, including first responders. The deadline is this Friday.
CBS News' John Diaz joins us live from Lower Manhattan, where another protest is planned for today. John.
Well, Marion, Sydney protesters are calling this one a march for choice. On their flyers advertising this protest, they say that there are tens of thousands of them that are against this new vaccine mandate. Now, this one comes after several people rallied and protested over the weekend in several different locations.
I will go in Friday morning and fill out my paperwork to retire.
A bold decision for this city firefighter, choosing to trade in his firefighter gear instead of getting a COVID vaccine.
It hasn't been enough testing. It hasn't been long enough for doctors to say, no, it's perfectly safe.
A thought shared among many at this Staten Island rally on Sunday. Time is now running out for the 160,000 city workers who must get this shot by this coming Friday or go on unpaid leave. Right now, only 55% of firefighters are vaccinated.
I estimate that anywhere from 25 to 30% of firehouses may close.
The mayor says there's a contingency plan to ensure services are not interrupted, including paying overtime. Only 50% of EMS workers are currently vaccinated, 71% of cops, and 51% of correction officers.
We're not anti-vax, but we're anti-mandate.
From playing hardball with politicians to basketball, there was drama outside the Brooklyn Nets home opener at Barclays Center last night. Some of the protesters tried storming the entrance over the team's decision to not let Kyrie Irving play because he won't get vaccinated. Security had to hold them back and close all front doors to secure the area. Ticketed guests already inside watched it unfold.
All this for Kyrie? Because he don't want to get vaccinated? But Kyrie could play if he gets vaccinated.
The rally started hours before the game at a park about a mile away.
They're trying to take away our freedom.
It was organized by several groups, including Teachers for Choice, Reverend Kevin McCall, and Black Lives Matter activist Hank Newsom, who marched to Barclays with signs. Now, no arrests were made outside the Barclays Center. And as for these city workers, well, we are told that several of their unions plan on suing the city. We're live this morning from the Brooklyn Bridge here in Lower Manhattan. John Diaz, CBS 2 News.
John, thank you. To the clash at the Barclays Center, dozens of protesters.
Now, I got the vaccine. And I wasn't going to get it. And I ain't going to sit here in front. I was against it. I was thoroughly against it. But as I saw other members, other BD family members, as I saw them get the vaccine, as they were telling me about other family members that got the vaccine and they were okay, as it kept being offered to me, wherever I went, vaccine for free. I finally went on and took it. And the video's up as I went to both places. Well, with the same place. Just saw one was the 4th of November and one was I think it was the 4th or 5th of April and the 4th or 5th of May. But I went back and got it done. I got my card. I carried in my wallet. I don't believe I can afford to get the COVID. So that's why I got the vaccine. Now, I'm not being paid millions of dollars to play for a basketball team. But those citizens that buy those tickets, they expect you to play. They expect you to play, Kyrie Irving. They paid the money. Are you going to give them the money back? Then you need to do what you need to do or just quit the team. But if you're not playing, costs them a victory. You're cheating the people that you work for, and that's the fans. They're the ones that buy the tickets. Without them buying the tickets, you don't have nobody to play in front of. And that's my comment. I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying he shouldn't. But if he not, then he need to quit the team. He need to quit the team as long as that mandate, because it's not fair to those people that pay money to see him and expect to see him, because he made a personal decision. Then make a personal decision not to play in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. But you cheating them people. The people that pay your salary, they expect you to come perform. They don't want to hear no excuses. They want to see you perform. They want to see you hit the court. That's what they paid their money for. And if you're not going to deliver it, you need to just step out. That's my opinion. Anybody got a counter opinion? Anybody got any comment? Anybody not getting the vaccine no matter what? I'm not a basketball player. I don't get paid millions of dollars. But I am a YouTuber. And people expect to see me come live every day. The vaccine might keep me from dying if I get the COVID or come in contact with somebody with COVID. Can't think about myself all the time. You got to think of others. That's why I got the COVID. And I'm a small YouTuber. This man got millions of people waiting to see him play. If I won't let down my little bit of people, how can he let down millions of people? That's my only point. Anybody got any comment? Anybody? No comment? Nobody telling me I'm crazy? Nobody gonna defend the basketball star? Well, all right then. Let me get ready to end the show. I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Yes. We leaving early. I'm glad I am young, because I need to go fry me some chicken and my garden medley vegetables. And I need to hit the sack. I got to get up early. I mean early. But we're going to go see the heart specialist. I'm really sad and disappointed by the numbers. I really thought that we were going to get better numbers. Really upset about that. But what can you do? We learned the lesson. Exercise, don't. But like I say, the only sugar that we got was the apples, the tangerines. There's no sugar in the vegetables. Shouldn't be much sugar in the chicken. And for a filler, I got some graham crackers. Hopefully, the sugar will stabilize. But I know my stomach is growling. I ate the tangerines and the oranges, and my stomach is still growling. So I'm going to go ahead and make me something to eat. I hope y'all have a great evening. Thanks for spending part of your evening with me. Have a great night. And as Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Hopefully we can get up out of here because if we taking Marsha, she going to need the rest. Y'all know how steep them hills is. Y'all know it. That first hill was ridiculous. Then we got that second hill. Then we got that third hill. And then we got the fourth hill that's right there at the hospital. That boy is as straight up as you can get. And then you turn the corner and it's straight up. And then you turn the corner and you're still going up. Baltimore is ridiculous. How many hills we got? It's ridiculous. But common sense is saying, take Bessie. But everything is on Marsha. It'll take me 2 hours, 2.5 hours to move everything back over. I should do it. Maybe if I get up early. But right now, it looks like we're taking Marsha. I think Bessie will do the job. But I think we're going to take Marsha. Oh, now I'm leaving. Everybody come back. We were down to 3 people. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace, everybody. We out.